Ready?
We're on the air.
You son of a bitch. Hey,
I told you in the chat we were live.
Hey, Omega.
Yeah.
So, what do you call it in 2014 when you have supernatural elements on a wrestling show?
SFX. XX.
No, you're thinking of Naked Women's Wrestling League. What do you really call it?
I don't know what.
The gosh darn Attitude Era coming back. What are you guys talking about? Everybody crapping on this pay-per-view and all of this stuff. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's start the show. Hello everyone and welcome to We'll Get Serious number 138. My name is Gunnar and that is Omega BR.
Yes, SFX was a good movie.
Also joining us this week is our terrible technical producer, Mr. Yankum DDS.
I suppose that I'm supposed to acknowledge that. I wasn't going to at first, but if I must.
Oh, somebody's bagging tonight.
And speaking of the person that you probably want to teabag, it's the one, the only, the Magic.
Hi, everybody. I hope you had an interesting Hell in the Cell and that you weren't spooked to death by Bray Wyatt's whatever they were. I would say what I think they were, but then I need to be banned from the broadcast for having naughty thoughts.
Jesus titty motherfucking God. What the fuck is wrong with all of you this week? So let's talk about something that, is completely expected here, and that's the news. Just the tips on everybody's tongue as one particular community, which we will not.
Can you hold on for a second there, because I think you just said just the tips on everybody's tongues, and that's not just right.
It's on the no. No, it's not. I botched there. No,
it's never just the tips.
The tip of everybody. It's been on everybody's tip. The tip of everybody's tongue. There you go. And
tits on tongue sound good to me.
Oh my God! I'm just going to start reading. Reddit user MitsFanForever purportedly a former WWE employee who has broken several news stories recently now claims that WWE is dropping Elimination Chamber in February due to only having one world champion and wanting the Royal Rumble winner to go on to WrestleMania. Dave Meltzer confirms this, saying the new pay-per-view will be called Fastlane, and that an Elimination Chamber match is still possible for some time in the year, possibly as a June pay-per-view to build towards SummerSlam title match, replacing Payback, which would be the new May pay-per-view. MetsFan has also claimed that Jim Ross is confirmed to announce the New Japan Tokyo Dome show, but Ross denies this, claiming he has a birthday and a trip to Vegas planned. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he won't be broadcasting in Vegas for his birthday, but it means that, MetsFanForever, the Reddit user over there, has been calling the shots and getting it right lately. Much like Mr. Dolphin predicted every single match correctly for Hell in the Cell.
Well, first of all, circle jerk and getting it right. Who knew there? But I'm sad to see. I was worried for a second the way you were going on that Elimination Chamber would be totally eliminated. But to have that pay-per-view switched off later in the year is fine with me. And I don't think anybody gives a damn if Payback goes the way of the dodo bird.
Well, I'm not against removing the pay-per-view being based around the chamber itself as a whole at all. I don't think pay-per-view should be based around gimmick matches, save, Royal Rumble. That said...
Yes, but pretty much it's the only one that works. It limits your match types and it brings you...
It brings you something.
Oh yeah, it's gonna have you sit there and expect, they're gonna have to, I'm gonna get a TLC match in December, I'm gonna get a Hell in a Cell match in October, and in February or May now apparently I'm going to get an Elimination Chamber match. Go figure.
Yeah, I was never too keen on the idea that Elimination Chamber came before WrestleMania. It seemed like too extreme a match.
Well, it worked for a little while there. It was appropriate for when we had two champions. I mean, because you could have one Elimination Chamber match, and you can, get the number one contender out of that, or the champion out of that, and then you can, not worry about the other brand stuff. But at the same time, I like what Yanko was saying. I really want them to get rid of Hell in a Cell and TLC and Elimination Chambers so that those matches can be freed up to be used elsewhere during the year when it's appropriate.
Exactly. Those things should be something special that gets drug out for something special. It loses... I don't want to say specialness because that's way too many specials. It loses its that je ne sais quoi when it happens all the time, especially when you have the entire pay-per-view based around that gimmick match. If the Elimination Chamber was just where, I don't know, they were coming up on SummerSlam and they were building towards, they've got all these people who are in contention for the title, and they say, okay, well, you all want to have the title, you'll get your chance at the Elimination Chamber at SummerSlam, and then everybody's like, oh, yes, this match, this is going to be awesome, instead of, oh, Elimination Chamber is going to come up. I wonder how they're going to manage to pack enough people into it who are legitimately, worthy of the title.
Very good question, but I'd like to point out one last other thing. If we should get rid of all the gimmick matches pay-per-views, then would that mean that if we got rid of the match types themselves, we'd, be... No.
You keep the match types. You just don't base entire pay-per-views around them, with the exception of the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is the only gimmick match pay-per-view that should exist, because it has existed, for so long, and it actually works, and it's just one of those matches. Except for the Divas, but that doesn't count. The Divas never count.
Sad but true. I will be hyped on one thing following your train of thought, and that's some of my favorite old gimmick matches could come back, including Championship Scramble.
Not really big fan of Championship Scramble.
Is that the one where they have the 6 people in the match, and then the person who gets the last pinfall is the champion?
Yeah,
right.
You can have as many pinfalls in the match as possible. Think of it as an Iron Man 1 hour match with about 6 guys.
Of course, Net Jester, Mr. I Suck Vince Russo's Cock, would love this.
Oh, come on. I don't think Vince has ever said anything about Championship Scramble, but it gives me an air of excitement and not knowing what the hell is going to happen next.
Net Jester has been in several Vince Russo's dick on a pole matches.
He's been the pole.
Okay, so
Speaking of Vince Russo's pole, Jeff Jarrett met with Ring of Honor COO Joe Koff, and others to smooth over a clause about ROH talents working with another company's pay-per-view, since Global Force Wrestling is producing the New Japan Tokyo Dome show, and the ROH World title is scheduled to be defended on that show. There's also talk of doing talent exchanges, such as with announcer Kevin Kelly, and Michael Elgin posted a message from ROH on his Facebook threatening legal action if Elgin doesn't show to the TV taping on Saturday, where he is apparently to cut a promo on Jay Briscoe and apologizing for the whole situation.
So, is it a work?
I'm a little confused.
It's a work, shoot. Work.
I think your dog is agreeing with you.
Okay, this is entirely confusing, to quote AJ Lee, but, if we see an ROH World title...
Okay, this entire thing is really confusing.
Yes, I beat you to it, AJ. Get back in the kitchen, woman. Anyway, but, what?
You're
Anyway.
done.
Nope, you're done. No, you're not allowed to say things like that. How about somebody's opinion that matters? How about Omega BR, who actually knows about this sort of thing?
No joke zone.
Well, I suppose it could be, but it kind of seems like if it is, they're doing a good job of making it seem like it's not. Because Elgin isn't really playing into it at all. He's just sort of posting what they're posting and sort of making offhand quips about how I guess I can show up in Florida or this and that. I don't know. There's been a lot of rumors lately about Elgin and sort of his status as a competitor and everything. Let's say he leaves Ring of Honor. What's he going to do exactly? Probably play the independents, but then again, Ring of Honor is, for better or for worse, one of your top, if not the top independent. Well, I guess they're not really independent anymore, even though it kind of feels that way. But
ROH is the top independent. Where are you, dude? He would go to TNA, brother.
Oh, good lord. But the thing is, that's still up in the air. We don't know if we're going to have TNA for too much longer.
Well, according to the Melts, you're going to be seeing a whatchamacallit coming up here shortly. What am I thinking of? An announcement here shortly about that TV deal. Whatever. But beyond that, I mean, the thing here that I'm really feeling awesome about is the Jeff Jarrett thing, because I can't wait for Global Force Wrestling. Even if it's just a rebroadcast of New Japan with English dub, that's perfectly fine with me.
Oh yeah, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I just want to see where they're going to get a TV deal from.
You'll see. Speaking of people that had TV deals at one point or another, Billy Jack Haynes, who worked for WWF in the mid-'80s, is suing WWE in federal court for, quote, egregious mistreatment of wrestlers, concealment and denial of medical research, and evidence concerning traumatic brain injury, end quote. He wants a class action status so that as many as 500 persons can join. WWE responded, saying that the condition of Haynes is describing chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy. Thank you. Wasn't even discovered yet. Meanwhile, is that WWE and CM Punk may have reached some sort of an agreement, as WWE Shop is back selling Punk merchandise, and he is scheduled to appear in both WWE 2K15 and the WWE Flintstones movie Stone Age SmackDown.
Oh my god, that is actually a thing.
I cannot wait. The Scooby-Doo one was really good.
No, yabba dabba boo hoo hoo.
The Flintstones one is actually sort of interesting because, they come out with new Scooby-Doo things every year, but I can't remember the last time they did a Flintstones thing.
Flintstones anything, you're right.
The last Flintstones thing... Oh, here we go. I bet it's the same thing I'm thinking of. Was there a Rosie O'Donnell involved along with John Goodman and
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, the first live-action Flintstones movie.
And then there was another one after that had Billy Baldwin in it.
Yep. Oh god. But yeah, okay, CM Punk comes back at Royal Rumble. Who wants to put a 5 on it?
No, I'm still not taking that. I still don't see that as
no, I don't think so. I mean, it would be awesome, but I just don't see it. Not after what he did.
You'd mark balls.
Yes, we would.
Absolutely. I mean, but I would mark balls if, a giant vanilla chocolate swirl ice cream sundae asteroid came from space and landed in my backyard. But, it's not going to happen.
But that'd be
content by your movements. What are you talking about?
But that'd be all dirty.
Exactly.
And now NJ is being racist doing that stereotypical 70s.
Hey, you brought up Swirly, man. Anyway, Billy Jack Haynes suing the WWE in federal court. Do you think he has a leg to stand on?
I think he'll find one way or another to stand on it. Like somebody from The Walking Dead. Spoilers!
Potentially a bad situation for WWE if many of the... they've made a lot of enemies over the years concerning this kind of thing, and it's sort of something that gets swept under the rug. Nobody... It only really gets brought up when, say, a wrestler kills his wife and child,
No, yes.
It was one time.
Conversation.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, I think we need to move on.
Alright, well, speaking of crippling, WWE recently changed their talent wellness section, including policies on domestic violence, child abuse, and sexual assault, essentially reserving the right to automatically suspend any talent arrested for an offense of that nature and terminate them upon conviction. Of course, this is not limited to just arrests and terminations. WWE is also looking for a new social media manager after Cody Barberi, the man who was hit by Alberto Del Rio, leading to Del Rio's release, actually left the company earlier this month. The Undertaker was hanging around the Performance Center recently and says he will take on the role of an advisor, essentially showing up when he feels like and helping train the competitors to know what to expect on the main roster. Women's Indies stars Mia Yim and Leva Bates worked the recent NXT TV tapings, and WWE has signed 3 new persons: amateur wrestler Sonny Dinza, bodybuilder Dustin Mueller, and University of Central Florida amateur wrestler Josh Woods.
Mia Yim in WWE? Oh boy.
Yeah, that might be pretty good. I'm not exactly sure who the other... I know who Leva Bates is, but I'm not exactly sure who Dustin Mueller or Josh Woods are.
I bravo for them actually bringing up the sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse thing. That's pretty awesome. I think that's a great step forward, a pretty necessary and logical no-brainer. Good job, WWE. Pat you on the back, and here you go.
Well, basically, after all the negative press because of that horrible Ray Rice situation, you're going to have to do something. Sooner or later, the WWE was going to get a focused spotlight on this, and to take preemptive action is a smart idea.
In before Mia Yim is treated like a Yoshitatsu with tits. I'm not saying it's a good thing if they do. I'm just saying, Vince.
Yoshi Titsu.
Oh.
Yoshi.
Well done, Omega VR. Well done.
Speaking of things that are well done, Variety reports that John Cena is teaming with Letfield Pictures, producers of Pawn Stars, to develop an unscripted TV series focusing on the life stories of unknown individuals. So what you're telling me right there in that particular sense is that John Cena is working with the people with Pawn Stars to make a unscripted reality television show. Okay. Great. And Nickelodeon announced that Slam City will appear on Nicktoons from 9 to 11 p.m. as part of their sports block. This has brought talks of a second season, and it's the first WWE program to air on a Viacom channel since Raw left Spike TV. That's a really interesting fact. WWE Films announced plans for The Condemned 2, starring Randall Keith Orton. WWE has also launched a line of John Cena training apparel called Cena. This line apparel features t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, and more. How much do you want to bet if somebody walked into the gym wearing that shit, they would get laughed at so hard it wouldn't even be funny?
Jorts!
Yep. Here a jort, there a jort, everywhere a jort.
I've looked at the new performance apparel, and I gotta say, it's really no different than any other performance apparel. Even some of the slogans sound the same. Stuff like, push it harder, I don't know.
Okay.
Actually, that one's a little suggestive.
That one's very suggestive. And I bet you we were all about to say something to that effect.
Okay, I'm looking at it now. Anytime, anywhere. That's on one of the shirts.
Oh, that's... Wow. Well then.
Alright, how about this one? Set the bar, now raise it.
Oh man. Okay, so what we should do now is play the game of, is it on a John Cena t-shirt or is it a sexual innuendo? The answer is yes to all of them.
All of the above.
This one's my favorite. It's earn it. That's it.
That's enough. Okay, John Cena doing an unscripted reality television story. I just don't know. That looks like train wreck material. Bueller.
It should be fun. Gonna move on to the last one there.
Might as well.
So Bobby Lashley defeated Carl Etherington via punches at Bellator 130 in a minute and 31 to go 12-2. Short Sleeve Samson announced a new midget wrestling. Can we not have midget wrestling? Oh, that's the name of it, Midget Wrestling Warriors. I was like, no, that's offensive to little people, but that's what it's called. Midget Wrestling Warriors debuting with a tour in Canada. Ring of Honor has signed a toy deal with Figures Toy Company. Former WWE announcer Hugo Savinovich now working for AAA, says that Rey Mysterio is done with WWE and wants out. Tiny Zeus Lister called out John Cena for being a fake rapper who wears makeup on TV. That is not slander. It is absolutely true.
Oh my god. Zeus, really?
So basically what you're telling me is that Zeus posts on Woo? But okay. So Ring of Honor has decided to make toys. So when are they going to come out with the cast mold of Maria Kanellis? I'm just saying.
Many of us would just say.
So basically they're making a bunch of plastic. And it's not going to sell too much. Yay, midget wrestling! And Bobby Lashley is beating up more tomato cans in Bellator. So when is Bobby Lashley going to challenge for the Bellator Championship? Oh, we'll see. Oh boy, that's going to be a match. There's going to be a match with Bobby Lashley getting blown up.
Who's the current Bellator champ? Have I ever heard of him?
Beats the shit out of me.
Yeah.
15-minute time limit, and we're going to talk about Hell in the Cell, which was actually a good pay-per-view. Shut the fuck up if you disagree with me. We'll start with our first match here, which is Mizdow TV and Mark Henry defeat Bo Dallas in an unannounced match on the pre-show. Fuck yeah, Mark Henry just destroying Bo Dallas here.
Somebody gonna get the ass kicked.
I'm fine with Mark Henry doing anything. However, Bo Dallas has been squashed twice now. Excuse me. He got squashed by Henry, and then last night he got squashed by a returning big guy, and things aren't looking good for the poster.
Yes, the return of Ryback with classic music. That was fun.
Hey, I liked it. It actually got me to pay attention to Raw.
We need more credible heels. Let's bring a back face!
Well, that's what we had Mark Henry turn last night, too, for, I guess.
Let's see here. Dolph Ziggler defeated Cesaro 2-0 to retain the IC title. No big surprise there.
Are you kidding me? That is a huge surprise.
You thought Cesaro was going to take it, huh?
No, I thought Cesaro was going to at least get a pin. Ziggler had been losing consistently for a month, and then, he wins strong against the strongest guy in the company, arguably.
Well, I don't... In the company... Yeah.
He slammed Big Show at WrestleMania. Strongest.
I don't know.
Who's stronger?
Cena stronger.
No.
Also, Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Hey, Hulk Hogan slammed a 46 billion ton Andre the Giant in front of 37 trillion screaming Hulkamaniacs, brother.
Speaking of things that are completely blown out of proportion, Nikki Bella's tits. I mean, just Nikki Bella defeated Brie Bella, meaning that Brie would be her personal bitch for 30 days. So nothing changes in that relationship at all whatsoever.
Bitch. Why hang over semantics?
From what I've seen, because my sister watches the show, and I'm in and out doing stuff for her.
Here we go. The confession of Yanko DDS here.
I am not a devout follower. However, I do catch bits and pieces of it. And from what I've seen of that show, Brie is kind of a cunt.
Kind of. I think they're both a little bit.
No, I would disagree with you. I would rather have Brie than Nikki.
I'm just sad that this means. I'm just sad this means we will get to hear Brie mode for the next month.
I am heartbroken about that.
Well, I'll grab a pint of Guinness and then try to forget.
Alright, the Golden Stardust team, didn't we have a name for them? Gold Star? I like Gold Star.
Yes, I thought so.
Gold Star defeated the Usos to retain the tag titles. Again, no surprise because it's the tag division, and making any kind of change is just, it's scary.
Damn straight. I'm even surprised the Usos got the belt off of them.
It was a pretty decent match. You know, they were kind of flying all over the place. I think it was Cody who was doing some new stuff. I forget what exactly it was, but didn't he do a suicide dive or something at one point?
Here's the one I thought was the biggest surprise of the night, since Gunner's obviously having some kind of technical problem and his mic isn't working or something. But I thought for sure John Cena and Randy Orton were going to be the last match of the night. They were not. They were actually in the mid-card, which is impressive to me. I don't remember the last time John Cena was in the fucking mid-card. But John Cena defeated Randy Orton in the Hell in a Cell to earn an opportunity at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. John Cena is your number one contender for the world title.
Shocking where the match place in the card, not shocking at all in the outcome, unfortunately. I don't think that Randy Orton, personally, going up against High Lord Pissoff would be a good match, but, if they want to do... Oh, you do?
Yeah, I think that would be a really good match. I would to see Orton take on. I would like to see Orton become Pissmaster, at some point or another. But apparently, it's not going to happen right now because Randy's got the pennies in a bunch over the goddamn Authority. Although those RKOs out of nowhere are getting pretty intense, and him coming out on Raw was fucking boss.
Oh yeah, him losing his shit last night against Seth was damn good.
They did about everything you can do in a sort of PG environment, in a film match where you can't really get super intense. At least that's what I would have said until we got the real main event where they took it to the next level.
Well, moving on, we've got Sheamus defeating The Miz to retain the U.S. Championship. Show of hands, who gives a shit about the mid-card?
I don't know why Miz, upon discovering at the end of the match that whatever he did to Miz, Mizdow would copy. I don't know why he didn't do that during the match. Like if he threw Miz into the turnbuckle and Mizdow threw himself into the steel steps.
Yeah, you want to talk about a supernatural aspect there. I'm talking JBL's voodoo. It's Voodoo Maggle.
Are you talking about the Mama Joanna?
Well, I'm talking about Mizdow aping everything that Miz does, but something like that.
Mizdow is currently my favorite thing in wrestling.
Yep.
Like, no joke, current favorite thing in wrestling. One of my most favorite things of all time, right up there with Moppy and Pepe and, let's see here, what other ridiculous silly shit that I can think of on the top of my head, and Eugene, the entire Eugene gimmick.
And the Goblin.
No,
but there is one you forgot, and by God, I hate myself for not being able to remember his name right now, but he came out as different people before.
Us?
Yes.
Us?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic
But we got to move on here because we've got Rusev defeating Big Show by submission again. Who's Rusev going to face next time?
I don't know.
The big guy. He's going to face the big guy.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be it. That's exactly what I was thinking. That Ryback was going to come back, and that's exactly the match that was going to happen. It'll be good. It'll be fun. Ryback will try to kick the shit out of him, but he'll lose again. And I'm expecting Rusev versus Cena for WrestleMania.
Yeah. And Lol Cena wins.
Yes. AJ defeated Paige by submission to retain the Divas Championship. Please tell me this feud is over with. Because I'm kind of bored with the Divas division at this current juncture.
The Divas division will never be good. And it's not the Divas' fault. The Divas are fine. It's that they're not willing to do... Well, I mean, it's not like the mid-card's any good right now either. And that's basically what the Divas division is. It's the mid-card. I almost wanted to say on ice, but it's more like on liquid nitrogen, like in space.
On crack, in other words, yes.
No, not like it's so... It's cool down material is what it is. It's I think they're intentionally sinking the Divas. And allow me just one moment of some tinfoil hat conspiracy theory level stuff here. They're intentionally making the Divas division shit so that they can use it as cool down matches and piss breaks and stuff, so people can go to the merchandise stands.
Sad but true.
I could see that being the case. I could see that also being the fact that Triple H, traditionally speaking, is not a Divas person. So the less focus on the Divas division and the more focus on like the tag division, for example, is exactly what he believes is best for business, brother. But
you would think
that's
Steph would be like, hey, remember like Sable and like remember Trish Stratus and Mickey James
and Trish Stratus was great under, rose-tinted glasses. But we have 4 minutes here, and I really want to dedicate this discussion to Seth Rollins defeating Dean Ambrose in the Hell in the Cell, which was quite possibly one of my favorite Hell in the Cells of all time.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way right now. Match of the night, up until the point where the WWE effed it all to hell.
Nope, you sir are incorrect. You sir are incorrect.
But that's supernatural. I realize we want to make Bray Wyatt scary. This was an epic. It could have had an epic conclusion.
Do you not know? Do you not understand the bigger picture here?
Okay,
do you not understand what actually happened in this match? Yankum, please tell me what match this called back to.
Honestly, my internet was down, so I didn't get to see it.
Are you kidding me? Okay, so
yep.
Mr. All right, I will. Omega, you can tell me at the very least because I know you were watching.
Before Yankum's dogs do.
Wait. Can I guess? Because I do know something that happened sort of previously.
You only got a little bit of time, so take a guess.
Okay, so I'm going to say Undertaker and Foley because there was a big brawl before the match started. They were both injured and they were being led away on gurneys.
Yes, that is my point. So it starts exactly the same as the 1997 as the second Hell in the Cell match. It has the same sort of table spot, only with both men taking the spot as opposed to just one. It has the double card out, and it has the shenanigans in the middle of the match, and then it has the spooky finish.
Okay. I'm up
That's
to you
gotta be Kane.
until the spooky finish.
That's gotta be Kane.
Oh, really?
I could
You're mixing your matches there.
I could have taken it or left it, to be honest. I thought it was kind of At the time, I thought it was bad because I thought, they're bringing Wyatt back. Wyatt, a character I've never been super ecstatic on in the first place. I kind of came around. It was pretty cool what they did with the smoke and the hologram and everything. And the problem is, it's not so much a problem with the characters. It's a problem with the fact that, the way they craft feuds now, there's got to be at least one guy who just can't lose, and they couldn't let Seth Rollins lose in that match, so they let Bray Wyatt, who's becoming their designated feud transit, so to speak, attack Ambrose, and now all of a sudden Ambrose has completely forgotten about Rollins, and now he just wants to go after Wyatt. So, the writing on the wall was very, very clear. And you can argue it did sort of muck up what was a pretty intense match. Not very PG, especially with that double table spot. But it is what it is. This is what happens when you can't have one person lose and one person can't win, basically.
I'm with Omega on this one.
Although I almost wish that it would have happened post-match, and Rollins would have just beaten Ambrose.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there, and I'm going to say this much. This puts the feud on pause. It does not put the feud over with, which is not what you want from this particular feud. Because cooling it down right now and then distracting both of them with other people and then building it back up for WrestleMania time is money.
Well, it's a possibility. I'm not convinced that's what they're going to do, though.
Remember,
but you have a point.
Returning Roman Reigns coming. So what are they going to do
with
him by that
Roman
interview?
Brock and
Seth.
But anyway, yeah, it wasn't really a bad show. It sounds that way.
Alright, so that's it for the 15 minutes. So, I'm hungry.
Easy, you whack-a-yankum.
My food just showed up, so I'm gonna eat something. You guys want to go down to Dairy Queen? What's the ratings? Yankum Diddy?
Alright, here we go with some ratings. TNA Impact Wrestling drew a .83. Oh, I hadn't read these. And that's up 7% from last week's .73 cable rating. SmackDown on October 24th fell to a 1.67 rating. That's down 0.3 of a rating, or 15% from last week's 1.96. Outside of the 4th of July episode, this SmackDown tied for the lowest rating of the year, matching a 1.67 on May 2nd, which drew 2.79 million viewers, also down 15%. It was the lowest non-holiday viewers on May 2nd. SmackDown was up against Game 3 of the World Series, which drew 12 million viewers on the Fox broadcast. In the demographic ratings, SmackDown was hit hardest in adults and males 18 to 34, which dropped 0.2 of a rating from last week to the lowest rating in nearly 2 months. SmackDown also continued a 4-week downturn among teen male viewers. On cable TV Friday night, SmackDown ranked number 3 in overall viewers and number 3 in males 18 to 34 and males 18 to 49. And of course, this week's Raw drew a 2.71 rating, down from the 2.77 cable rating the show drew the previous week. The show drew an average of 3.75 million viewers as previously reported. That is not a good number following the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. They did face a Dallas Cowboys versus Washington Redskins game that went to overtime, but it's still not a good number at all. For those wondering, the NFL game on ESPN drew 18.8 million viewers. That's a lot. And since Gunner has finally decided to shut up, here's Matt Dresser with the birthdays.
And birthdays, person, place, or thing. Easy. My turn to shine. Let the professionals handle this. On the 29th of this month, we have none other than Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And the 30th, we have the Rated R Superstar Edge. And, we're starting already, are we? With you two whack-a-moles and the fake names. A Kumin Cider. Oh, boy. Anyway, on the 31st, we have, Japanese name, this is going to hurt. Koji Kanimoto. Koji Kanimoto. I think I got that. Yes, is that your dog clapping? I don't know how you trained him to do that, but anyway. And also on the 31st, we have Bud Mehab. I think he might be Arabic. Bud Mehab. Anyway. On November 1st, we have Billy Gunn and Bobby the Brain Heenan and Tyler Rex. Now, on November 2nd, we have Cliff Compton, another Japanese name. Here we go. Yoshi Hinari Ogawa. Okay. Yoshihari Gawa. All right. And we have Queen Charmel, Darren Young, and Willie Yuck me off. I don't know, but he might be in a relationship with Darren Young right now.
No, he's not actually. He's a great English wrestler from the World of Sport days.
Yeah, just keep digging the hole deeper, Gunner. Anyway, on November 3rd...
Well, if you knew how to Google or Wiki, you would know this already. And the fact that I recognize the name and you didn't, and I'm just a casual fan, just goes to speak to how little you actually know about wrestling.
Wow! That hole must be going clear to China now. And I'm not exactly sure I mean the country. Anyway, once again, on the 3rd, we have Cameron and La Sombrera, lovely Don Marie, and the Mexican legend Pedro Morales. Then on the 4th, we have Ryan Nemeth, I hope I got that right, and Nakuri Doki.
Okay, can I just...
Naruki Doki.
Yeah. Your ability to sound things out did they not do phonics when you were in school?
Come on, you think I'm going to sound them like you want me to?
In all seriousness, it's really funny to have, Matt Chester do the birthdays in this.
Are you kidding? With the bad pronunciations, it's the only way I can get through it.
Well, I mean, it's not that, but it's the fact that you trash people's names that are actually real wrestlers. I mean, really.
All right, I dare you. Go ahead, I dare you. Say this with a straight face.
And Bob Hubnob, I actually met at an indie show once. He was a real dick.
Jeez.
And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, This Week in Wrestling History, circa 1971, where Sweet Daddy Siki defeats Sam Steamboat for the Hulk version of the NWA North American Heavyweight title. Jump to 1979, where Sweet Brown Sugar defeats Ernie Ladd to win the Florida version of the NWA Southern Heavyweight title in Lafayette, Louisiana. And it was in 2005 where WWE held the Taboo Tuesday pay-per-view, headlined by John Cena versus Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, who was voted into the match by the fans. Toward the end of the match, Angle locked the ankle lock on Cena, following an attempted FU, and Michaels hit Angle with a top rope elbow drop, then with sweet chin music. And as Angle crumbled, Cena managed to scoop up Michaels for a successful FU, and got the pin. And that was This Week in Wrestling History.
Sweet Brown Sugar. Now there it takes me back.
To a brothel in 1979?
I was wondering if you were going to bring up the Rolling Stones, but no. I did see this guy on Georgia Championship Wrestling back when it was Georgia Championship Wrestling. I thought, a masked black guy. Hey, this could be interesting.
I'm sure you're just a big fan of Amasis right now, but I digress. What should we watch this week in wrestling, Mr. Netjester?
Well, off the top of my head, one of the things that I've been... okay, hang on for a second, I might have to grab the phone.
Fine.
That's Destiny calling and wanting her alimony.
Where's the child support? I assume you were starting to say Yanko before your microphone cut out. I'm going to say I'm going to watch that Rollins and Ambrose match that I missed. The dogs are excited for it.
Omega, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Well, I don't know if you saw or not, but over on WWE.com they have the boogeyman scaring WWE corporate employees. He was always a favorite character of mine, and the first match off the top of my head of his was when he faced Booker T, I believe at WrestleMania 22.
Oh, that was... He didn't really face him. He just kind of came out and did the Worms gimmick, and it was amazing. Yes, I can completely understand that.
Okay, so my vote would be anything by Boogeyman, being this is Halloween week. Watch it, love it, see how amazing it was.
This week, I'm actually going to suggest something from the pay-per-view. And I'm going to suggest... John Cena versus Randy Orton in the Hell in the Cell. I can't believe I just suggested that, because it was actually a decent match. They put it wasn't great, but it was what they were expected, and it was a decent Hell in the Cell match. Yay them. Alright everyone, thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. You can check us out online at smarksnark.com. You can also check us out on our Spreaker page, Spreaker.com/smarksnark. We go live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. You can check us out on Facebook, Facebook.com/smarksnark. If you are a wrestling promoter or an independent wrestling talent and you would like to get a little more exposure, you can email us at smarksnark@gmail.com. That'll send you a message straight to us, and you can talk about, potentially coming on the show. And we also have our Twitter, which Jacob and I tweet pretty frequently on Monday nights and Sunday nights when there is a pay-per-view. You can check us out at twitter.com/smarksnark. Thank you all for listening. And so for myself, BR, Jacob DDS, and that child over there, Netjester, who doesn't understand good storytelling, or can't pronounce the Japanese names if you paid him $5. Thank you very much for listening, and we wish you the best in your past, present, and future endeavors.
So if you paid me $5, does that mean I'm Bias Curtis now?
No, it just means you're cheap.
I hate you, Netjester.
Wow, that's his name, isn't it?
Good night, Chihuahua.